Let me see. Oh, now I am. So, happiness, joy comes from something that is much, much bigger than ourselves. So Arthur Brooks calls himself a happiness professor, and I actually feel I know more than him. He travels all over the country, and he speaks to CEOs in companies to teach them how they can be a happiness coach. And anyway, my joy, this is what he says. He said, I've cracked the code to happiness. He starts with this information that I know is false. He said, happiness is 50% genetic. Well, for me, that's not true. I don't think it's true for any of you. Come on, are you saying your 50% of your happiness is coming from your mom or your dad? Mine were grieving all the time. So I know we're not living under the law of heredity and genetics. I believe that we're living in grace, and we're realizing that a real true birth is of God, and that is not under the law of heredity or genetics. So Professor Brooks is invited to speak everywhere, and all over the world, actually. And he said happiness is in a great decline in the USA since 1990. So he says, lift up a people, lift up people. That's what we're supposed to be doing, and then have an adventure. He said, it is important to have a purpose. It is a nutrient to your happiness. Now, he asks one of the most amazing questions. And I think this question, you could ask yourself this question every day. And I'm going to ask you, and you can speak up if you'd like. Is there anybody that can share with me, why are you alive? Why am I alive? Anybody have an answer to that?
Yep.
What?
Because I have so much more to do. More people to make happy, people to make smile, and there's a lot more good to do.
That is so good. Anybody else have a why I am alive? Yes.
To serve God, and
Well,
to serve God and serve mankind.
there you go. That's your purpose. That's your purpose. So if you can answer that, that is actually your purpose. Isn't that good to know? It's really amazing. So it reveals, he said that people over 50 are usually happier because they realize that nothing lasts and that it really doesn't matter. He said diet and a lack of sleep are not the answer to happiness. They're not going to give you happiness, but when you want less, you may have more happiness. Isn't that interesting? When you want what you already have, there's more happiness to that. True awareness gives you happiness. When you have true perception and happiness, when you decide to feel gratitude, it only takes 10, we've actually all known this in the New Thought movement. It only takes 10 days to move into a lot of happiness. And that is just have your journal and write down 10 things you're grateful for every night. He teaches that. And we've been doing that, haven't we? Remember all the gratitude journals we did? Anyway, he says that there are 4 great desires or goals that lead us to more happiness. Faith, family relations, deep friendships, and work that serves others, which is what you were saying, and I believe you were saying. And I would say knowing oneness with God. The scripture says, Lord, what work are we to do? And Jesus said, the work you are to do is to know God and to know him whom he sent. So I feel that brings you great joy. So, and I feel like if we do that, we will have more faith and we'll have deeper friendships. A friend, Jamie Martin, called me yesterday, actually, and I shared with her about my message, and she said, oh my gosh, she said, my greatest joy is to take chocolates and cards to seniors who don't have any family, and just to be there. And I just marveled, that was something that brought her the greatest joy. So in my quest to look up authorities who knew anything about joy or happiness, I happened to think I better look up about Finland and see what are they finding happy, what do they have to be happy about. So as I'm doing that, it's Monday morning, and I am receiving 2 beautiful new toilets. The handles didn't work really well, so I had workmen, they were installing them, and so when I'm on the television looking up to see what Finland had to offer us, do we really want to go there again? And anyway, and as I'm doing that, you know how other things start to come up? And it said, Japanese happiness. I said, I better find out what they know. And so it was a documentary, and the first thing it said was, your toilet, that if you wash it every day, the entire toilet, that it actually releases a golden goddess that will bring you beauty and prosperity. Now, I'm having 2 toilets delivered. They're installing them, right? And I think, oh my gosh, this is I bet my group here won't know anything about this. And then it said something quite amazing. It said, the Panasonic CEO and the Honda CEO clean their toilet every day. They feel their success has all come from that. I get the feeling that you guys have all been missing out on this. And anyway, and so they clean their toilets every day, and they said one of the secrets is it humbles you. And he said, and then you get along with all your people much better, and they stay with you. And so they believe that there is a golden goddess of toilets, and they also feel there is a God. They're going at this big. They have a God, and this God, though, looks like a gargoyle or something, but he's the God of toilets, and he's the one who comes down on you probably if you're not cleaning your toilet, because he looks like he would. And so, but they feel it brings great success in business, and they actually have songs that they sing about the golden goddess and the toilet. So anyway, I don't know if this goddess is stationed in the tank, or does she come whooshing in from new dimensions? I don't know. But anyway, she accomplishes her mission. And so be prepared for me when I speak next time. I think it's on the 18th of February. Be prepared for much more beauty coming from me, because I'm cleaning the toilet. Anyway, every day. The next thing is you open up a window and you breathe deeply the crisp air. And this brings forth a golden goddess, not the toilet goddess. We have more goddesses. And the window goddess of the fresh air comes and blesses you with so many opportunities. If you'll do that every morning, just breathe in the fresh air, no matter how cold it is. I couldn't get enough of this Japanese happiness. I really couldn't. In fact, I was going to go to bed early last night, and I'm watching about the Japanese happiness continually. They've got it. They've really got it. They're one of the happiest people. And so I thought, I've got to go to bed early, so I'm ready for my beautiful Unity friends. And I saw this whole thing on farmers and how you can thatch roofs. I can thatch any roof. I was up for 1 hour to figure out how those Japanese and the farms were thatching their roofs. And so you can contact me and I'll show you how to do it. Anyway, but I want to go back to toilets again. And I don't want you going home and people are going to say, what did they talk about at church? Can you share that with me? I do not want you saying, yeah, it was kind of weird, she talked a lot about toilets. Anyway, the Japanese toilets are so extraordinary. Do all of you know this? They sing when you sit down. They have songs. The Golden Goddess. And then, and they're heated and everything. They're incredible. I think people move to Japan for the toilets. But anyway, Japanese are taught all of their lives that words carry an invisible power, and with their words. So negative words affect the bodies of the one speaking and the one hearing the words. And Unity teaches us to be very conscious of how we speak. The Japanese are taught to be grateful. and to be conscious of all the support that you receive. You know, I'd never heard this before, but I think this is so extraordinary. They teach their children to look for support. Where are you getting your support? And then their dishes are supporting them. Their bed, everything's supporting them. People, communities, everything. Look for the support, and the support will multiply. And all of the support that we receive, feel gratitude. The more gratitude that you have for the support that you're receiving, that's pretty awesome. You know, I've never put gas in my car, which is really incredible. I remember my husband, when he first heard that, he thought, that is the most spiritual woman that I have ever seen, that she's never put gas in her car. He thought gas just appeared in it, but no, I just have never put gas in my car. And so I get that support wherever I go. People put gas in my car. So I really, really, really have always loved it and appreciate it. So Japan has several longevity communities. Japan is a place where people live very long lives. And life expectancy is the longest in the world. And so everything I'm saying, take seriously. Wash your toilets. Okay, because you live longer, you look beautiful, all that kind of thing. And all kinds of possibilities and success comes from that. So they have all these longevity communities where people live into the hundreds. Life expectancy is the longest in the world. Out of 100,000, 68 live beyond 100. That's pretty cool. And where in industrial countries, it's down to the teens or 20 out of 100,000. So there's people who were born in 1909 there. Japanese believe laughter will keep you very, very young, that it will lower your blood pressure, and it will also send dopamine into your system and serotonin. So they have laughter clubs. Another life promoting practice of the Japanese is to eat with your eyes, to be very grateful for the color, the shapes, and of your food. And this is also done as food is being prepared. If you've never done a macrobiotic class, it is so astounding. That's one of the first things they talk to you about, is to look at the sacred geometry of the carrot, the apple, when you cut into them, the cabbage. It's really, really quite beautiful. So the splendor of those designs are when they're acknowledged, when you're grateful for them, it actually sends a new nutrient into your system that you don't have unless you do that. That's what they say. So today, we want to feel gratitude for everything. They often say, thank you for this rare miracle of looking at the sun. Anything, it's a rare miracle. They live in that realm. It is like wearing miracle glasses where you see life from that vantage point. They look at the sun and they say, thank you for this rare miracle. They might see a butterfly, a rock. It's all a miracle. So this gives them such joy. And often when they pick up something, if you've ever seen this, it's the most beautiful thing. They will pick up something, a dish, and because it has supported them, they act like it's an icon of some kind, the way they pick it up and they put it down. It's really beautiful. Breathing and walking are considered great, great miracles. They feel the smallest thing deserves gratitude. Never, ever take anything for granted. You will see a Japanese enter a room and they will bow, even if no one's in the room. And they say, we bow to the space. We bow to the space, and then they bow again when they leave. Always leave things better than you found them. Japanese are known for their cleanliness. I'm kind of moving quickly because I really have a lot to say. So if I've talked too much, then you have to make symbols to me. What did they do? Whatever. Yeah. What a group. Anyway, their subways are perfectly clean. Children are taught at a very early age. None of the schools have janitors. The children do the cleaning. And they do it with joy because they're doing it for the next person that's coming in. They have respect of every space. You know, we take off our shoes if someone wants, you know, to take your shoes off when you enter their house, and people just take them off. Oh, no, no. They have to be right in order there to have them feel like they're lined up. All the shoes must be lined up. You will feel honored in Japan as the taxi driver jumps out of his cab and bows to you and gives you a big smile. And what it means is he's saying, I respect you, I honor you, and I am so grateful for you. There's no tipping there. They're just grateful for you in Japan. That was surprised me. The Japanese know that to be at one with the sun releases serotonin to help them sleep at night. Also, the sun ignites the soul when one is grateful for it, and it releases a very rare nutrient in their bodies for longevity. Did you all know this? Did you know that? I think it's amazing. Just a few moments of acknowledging the sun can help one to be happy all day. The sun is in support, is one of their support systems, so that's one of the reasons they're so grateful. Disease is rather rare in Japan. I'm not talking about Tokyo. Tokyo is a really kind of a wild place, mainly because if we're visiting, we usually end up in Tokyo, so we bring ourselves there, and we don't realize that it's a whole different way of living. So Tokyo doesn't have that same feel as some of these other places in Japan. They feel that they should only eat 80% full because grains, they eat tofu, grains, vegetables, fruits. Sea vegetables are really, really important to them, and fermented vegetables. And they also have fish, and they also drink a couple of glasses of wine. They do not have the word retire in their dictionary. They said, oh no, that would be a very unhealthy practice. You know, they can't even believe we have that here. Incidentally, that Arthur Brooks, he said something so strange, and I'm not sure I believe him. He said, I'm back to Arthur Brooks again on happiness, but he said 60% of men feel that their wives are their best friends and bring them joy. And 30% of women feel that. How does that work? So you see, Arthur Brooks, we're not sure about him. So I don't know if this is, pardon me?
Can I help you? Ah, there you go, I helped you.
Yeah, because you're a helper. Anyway, but I don't know if it's still working. Anyway, they are taught to treat everybody like a brother.
Can you just hold it?
I think that might work. It's my ears. My ears have always had a problem with this. So they're taught to treat everybody like a brother and sister. And young people in Japan don't follow all of this. In fact, they can be depressed because there's a lot of pressure on the young people to excel and to live morally and be clean and have clean lives, and they were taught this all of their life, and it kind of brings them, they have a problem with their teenagers. This is not working. What the Japanese teach is that everything you do can exalt your soul. And when you treat things as your lover, I love this. So you pick up a dish and you do it so gently and so beautifully because it is something that they just do. It has served you. And they treat everything so consciously. They put everything back. They put the chairs back. That's one thing that's really important to the Japanese, is that when they get up out of a chair, they put it back. And they put things back. Let's find out what Charles Fillmore says about living in gratitude and living in joy. Charles Fillmore, he taught that nature is the great big laugh of God. Everything is smiling, but you have to smile inside yourselves before you can get that smile of God on the outside. It's good, huh? Non-resistance was the foundation of the doctrine of Jesus Christ. And we learn non-resistance, we will be baptized with a glorious contentedness and a quiet mind. That's Charles Fillmore, the founder of this church. And he said, God brings to me all good in spirit. I am joyous. I see the joyous side of life. You can never have a joyous feeling if you leave out love. He also went on to say, you must have love throughout your body, and then you will have the perpetual oil of joy, and our minds and our bodies will not wear out. Our clothes will not wear out. What's that? Our clothes will not wear out. Even our bones will be renewed. Every bit of our organism will be renewed. Isn't he awesome? I love the idea of my bones being all renewed. Every one of us should hold to the spiritual consciousness that we are new in the sight of God. Let the joy flow in the perpetual renewing inner spirit. He said over and over again, he said, I fairly sizzle and spring forth with enthusiasm. I have mighty faith to do all of that which God's given me to do. Let's see what Jesus had to say about joy, being since he's not into happiness. Jesus said in the book of John, these things I have spoken to you, that my joy may be in you, and that this joy may be full. Full means full. So Romans 15:13 says, and Paul wrote this in prison, may the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace in believing, and rejoice in the Lord. Always again, I say rejoice. And then Psalm 16:11, you make known to me the path of life in your presence. That is the fullness of joy. Another scripture says, always bring me, this one brings me joy. When your words came to me, I ate them, and they were my joy and my heart's delight. And then those words that the mother of Jesus said, she said, my soul magnifies the Lord, and my spirit rejoices in God, my Savior. She was a rejoicing person, a joyful person. I'll say this. The words from the Bible have brought me probably the greatest life-giving joy. When I eat them, I assimilate them, I digest them. And that is why teaching 2 Bible studies a week is so much fun for me. It brings me great joy, and we laugh and have such a good time. So there's something that we all say at Unity that is absolutely life-giving. If you would take one line of this a day and just live with it, it's life-changing. And each line is absolute truth, and our bodies love to live in truth. If your bodies can live in truth, you will have no disease or sickness. The light of God surrounds me. Come on, let's do it. The light of God surrounds me. Love of God enfolds me. The power of God protects me. The presence of God watches over me. Wherever I am, God is. That will descend joy upon you. It'll chase after you, joy will, and then it's just going to be always with you. If you can say that and remember that every day, realize it's an affirmation that can change your life, where joy will live as a permanent feeling that you live with. Anyway, that's that, and thank you, all of you are so wonderful.